the one, the only, Ben Sion.
Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. As we finish the Beitzah today, Daily Double, we're finishing Perek Hey, Mishnah Zayin. We're starting with Rosh Hashanah, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Aleph. Let's get right into it. Perek Hey, Mishnah Zayin. Misha Zimin Eslo Orchim. He invited friends to his house. Lo Yolichu Biyada Monos. Elim Kain Zika Lehen Manosei and Merav Yontov. They want to take it home on Yontiv. Now again, their tchum, the fruit, since they didn't give it to him before Yontiv, or he wasn't mezakeh to them, he didn't give it as a present. That he could have done that before Yontiv. You can go to a third person and say, acquired on behalf of these people before Yontiv. Since he did not do that, so therefore the tchum goes by his tchum, not their tchum. So if their tchum is good to get there, but not to get back, so they can't take it back on Yontiv. Because the payros are not based on their tchum, at the beginning of Yontiv, they're based on his tchum. Unless he was mezakeh to them, he had a third person acquired on their behalf, in which case it would be okay. Ein mashkin v'shoftenes hamidbarios and mashkin v'shoftenes habaisos. Obviously, the second Beitzah talks about shechting animals. You'll have shecht an animal on Yontiv. However, it's muksa. If it's in the field, it's grazing in the middle of the field, it's considered midbarios. You can't shecht those. It's muksa. Baisos you could. Elohin bais. What's considered bais? Alamas be'ir. When they go to sleep, the animals, they go in the city limits. They're sleeping in the city limits. Midbarios, alamas be'afar. Midbarios are considered ones that sleep outside the city limits and the dirt outside the city, and therefore they're not considered prepared. You didn't have it in mind, so therefore they're muksa, and you can't use it on Yontiv, even though technically ochel nefesh mother, but it's probably muksa. Well, that would conclude Slich Masech Beitzah, Beitzah, Mazel Tov. Now let's start Masech Rosh Hashanah. Perek Aleph, Mishnah Aleph. Arba Rosh Hashanah. There are 4 different types of Rosh Hashanah, days that are significant as Rosh Hashanah for something. Be'echa b'Nisan Rosh Hashanah l'mlachim v'regalim. Rosh Chodesh Nisan is Rosh Chodesh for counting Jewish kings. We'll talk about this distinction even with Sion, Jewish kings, and also the regalim. The first regal is considered Pesach, then Shavuos, and Sukkot. That's related to halachas of when you make a pledge to bring a korban, you have 3 regalim to bring it. According to one opinion, it starts always from Pesach. Be'echad be'elul Rosh Hashanah l'maasar behema. Rosh Chodesh Elul, it's coming up pretty soon, I think next week, is Rosh Hashanah Ma'aser Behema. Ma'aser Behema is you have to take out 1/10 of your animals. So, whichever animals were born before Rosh Chodesh Elul are last year's, and they're born after, that's part of the next year's Ma'aser Behema. They say no, Ma'aser Behema is determined by Rosh Chodesh Tishrei. Be'echa b'Tishrei Rosh Hashanah Lashanim, Rosh Chodesh Tishrei, right, are commonly, colloquially called Rosh Hashanah. That's Rosh Hashanah Lashanim, and the Mepharshim explain that means counting the years of kings. If you write documents, like we're learning Maseches Gittin, you have to write in the get, if you're in a foreign country, the reign of that country. So that goes based on what year it is. Every Rosh Chodesh Tishrei is considered a new year. The Shmitim, the Yovlos, Shemitah and Yovel cycles start on Rosh Chodesh Tishrei. L'Netiya L'Yarakos. Also Netiya for Nether Avai Orla, right? A tree considered planted. It was planted before, specifically 45 days before Aleph Tishrei. Then it's considered 1 year already of Nether Avai and Orla. L'Yarakos, and also for Yarakos, Meiser. When you think of Meiser on Yarakos, on vegetables, that goes after the Lakita, and it goes after when you pick it, and the determining day is when you picked it. Did you pick it before Rosh Chodesh Tishrei or after? However, for Meiser, for trees, from fruits from trees, that's dependent either, according to Beis Shammai, on Rosh Chodesh Shvat. According to Beis Hillel, we're familiar with Tu B'Shvat. This is the significance of Tu B'Shvat, at least for Meiser, for the Lanos. That's the conclusion of today's share. Stay tuned for Ian Mitzion, where I discuss the distinction over here. Why is it that Rosh Chodesh Nisan is considered the beginning of the year for counting Jewish kings' reign, but for non-Jewish kings' reign, that's Rosh Chodesh Tishrei, which we normally count as Rosh Hashanah, our Rosh Hashanah. I'll explain the difference. Iyam and Sion coming up next.